There are clearly many challenges around forbearance from both a bank's and a customer's point of view, and it isn't just a factor of leniency being a good thing. Good practice in this area does mean a full return to the creditor over time, and a consumer who is able to get back on track with their finances without the disruption of losing their home or going bankrupt. Bad practice can be catastrophic for both sides, with mounting arrears and little way out.
Well, I guess the key thing for me is making sure that customers are not really put in a worse position by the options of forbearance that you might give them than if you didn't do otherwise. So, and I think it's got to be sustainable as well. So what I think we're looking at from a Barclays particularly point of view is know the customer, tailor the options that you actually want to put in front of the customer, check all the affordability factors, but make sure it's sustainable, and then regular review, ensuring that when we get to the situation where there's deterioration, we don't leave it for too long, and we make sure that we change or we're able to get back to something which the customer can take forward.
I think sort of UKR is in a unique position because ultimately it's in a business that's in wind down. And we're having to work towards two missions, which is to repay the government, but at the same time maximise value to the taxpayer. But in achieving that harmony between maximising value to the taxpayer and the sort of the forbearance, they actually two work sort of hand in hand, because literally the whole issue of working with a customer and getting them back on track is the right outcome also for the taxpayer.
I mean, in terms of some of the sort of concerns, they are quite well documented, and I will sort of go through those in a little bit of detail shortly. But I mean, what we've identified through various pieces of thematic work that have been done over the last couple of years within the FSA around arrears handling, that was, I suppose, one of the first areas that pointed us to doing more work in the area of forbearance. And more recently, in the middle of last year, I worked on the study that went to the Financial Policy Committee, which basically was tasked with, from a prudential side of risk, trying to answer three questions, which was how much forbearance is out there, because I think it wasn't particularly well understood from that perspective. Is forbearance being recognised within sort of provisioning practices and models? And do we think those provisions are adequate on those accounts that have some sort of forbearance? So by looking at those sort of things and briefly answering those questions, where we did a study on the 7 major banks, and we identified that somewhere between 5 and 8% of the mortgages that are outstanding had some sort of forbearance.